Hey everyone, welcome to amandaandmonicarloomy, and we are here today doing our coat of arms tutorial. Here are our examples. This is the first one that we did just to see how the design would look. This is the one that we'll be doing today. I'm just going to modify the middle a little bit. This one is actually based off of my family's coat of arms. How ironic is it that I'm obsessed with owls, and in my family's coat of arms there are owls. So each one of the pieces of a coat of arms means something. The color in this one, the blue, means strength and loyalty. The yellow means generosity, I think. The owls mean wise. And these were used during medieval times, and they would be passed down throughout the family. Then this one, as you just saw, I got the idea off of this cute scarf from H&M. I just thought it was so cute. Little Aztec print scarf. And today we're going to be doing this one. Now I will tell you that you're going to need 3 loom links all the way down here. You're not going to go all the way to the end of the 3 loom links for an average wrist. This is for an average wrist. But you will need 3 loom links of 5 pin bars set in an even configuration. And the colors that we are using today, they're all going to be based off of this one, except we're adding one more color. We're going to do 2 colors in the middle instead of just the hot pink and ocean. So we're going to have the hot pink and ocean. We are going to also in the middle use the purple and blue to do every other one. Then we are going to have the very pastel pink, 600 count. The green apple Persian. And last but not least, we will have jelly gold. Alright. I just think that sets, each one of those colors sets off the next just perfectly. I like how in this design that when you pull it some, you have these little stripes. And it is a reversible design if you want it reversible. It's a very stretchy. This was done on the full 3 loom links, so it will be able to fit me. But this one has just a little bit of that black in the background. Here it is on the reverse side. Like I said, you can wear it either way. It's a reversible. So why don't you go get your bands and come right back, and I will be ready. Alright, so first up, we need to make sure that your loom has the 5 pin bars all aligned. And we're going to need 3 loom links. Oops, as I tear mine apart. 3 loom links. And for an average wrist size, you're going to go all the way up to where you have 6 pins left here at the end. Okay? You'll stop right here. And you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins left. So let's get started with our first color, which is going to be the green apple. And you're going to take 2 green apples and drop them on that 3rd pin, 3rd bar pin. Now all the rest of them are going to be single bands. You're going to go to the left and then to the right and then to the left again and to the right. Now we're just doing a single chain border up each side for the perimeter with these green apple Persians. Simple enough. You just go all the way up to where if you have a larger wrist, you go all the way up to the end of the loom. If you have an average size wrist, you go up to where there are 6 pin bars left. So I'm going to keep doing this and I will be right back. So I went all the way down here to where I have 6 pins left that do not have any bands on them. I did my single chain all the way up to here. I'm not going to close it off just yet. I have to add the rest of my bands. So I'm going to go back to the end of my loom. This thing gets kind of heavy when you have 3 of them put together. Technically more than that. Alright, so our next step is where you need to choose which color you want to go where. On this one, we are going to be doing this exactly like on this example. We're going to have the pink over here on the side, and the gold is this little bit here in the inside. It's just a little peekaboo. Like here on the one right here, it's just a little bit of black. So pink's going to go the same way, and the gold's going to go in the same way. So depending on which way you want your certain colors to go is how you need to lay them. So the pink, since it's going to be on the sides, and they have to be laid exactly like this or they will not do the right way. You're going to do your pink this way on that side, and then you're going to do the mirror image of it on this side. Okay? And then you're just going to finish up. You're making X's. So make a mirror image of that X on this side. And you're just going to continue this all the way up the loom. But you can't do all pinks up one side and then all golds up one side. You have to do pink then gold and pink then gold. Because if not, they won't be hooked right. So I'm going to continue to do this all the way up the loom on both sides, making sure that I mirror the colors so that if one looks like this, if you turned it over, it would look just like that on this side. Alright, I'm going to continue and finish it out. Alright, so I went all the way down here to the end with my crisscrosses, making sure to stay in the right order. I'm going to go all the way back down to the beginning. And now I'm going to be doing the parts in the middle with the hot pink and ocean, and I'm going to add in the purple and blue. Instead of just doing hot pink and ocean, I'm going to do a hot pink ocean, then a purple blue. So you're going to grab a band, and you're going to take it from that center pin down to that second pin, and take it from the center pin down to the 4th pin. That was the hot pink and ocean. Now you're going to take your second color, which is the purple and blue. And this was a smaller upside down V. Now all the rest of them are going to be bigger, longer ones. So you're going to just stretch your band out. And you're going from the 3rd pin back to that same pin where you had that first band on. And you're doing the same thing to the other side. Now we're just going up the rest of the loom, alternating colors every time we make either an A-frame or an upside down V, whatever you want to call it. I'm alternating between the hot pink and ocean and the purple and blue pearls. They're just so pretty. Alright, you're going to do this all the way up to the end of the loom. And I'm going to do the rest off camera, but there is one extra step at the very end that you're going to have to do. So I'm going to complete this and come right back. Alright, so I've gone all the way down to right here. Here was my last A-frame or upside down V. Now I have one more step. I used the purple and blue for that one. I have one last one to do. So here's the last one that I did. Now we're going to make another one of those smaller ones to close it out. So it's just a smaller one. And now we're going to start on our next step. Uh-oh. Be very careful that your looms don't fall apart. Okay, all's good. Alright, our next step is where we are going to put a single chain down the very middle row of the loom. Just right on top, and we're using jelly gold again, going all the way down. Alright, I'm going to continue this off camera since it's just a single chain, and I'll be right back. So I went all the way down to the end of the bracelet, the single chain of the gold jelly. I'm going to be careful picking up this time so it doesn't fall apart. That's what happens when you make these really long ones that are tight. Okay, so our last step before we close it up is we're going to take the green apple Persian again. And like we made, I'm just pushing these down a little bit. Like we made the A-frames earlier, we're going to make a V now with all of the green apple Persian. But we're not going to make them the big long ones. They're just going to stay these small ones. Oops. Just going to keep going up the loom. Ooh, they're popping off. Okay. And you're going to go all the way down the loom, making sure to push them down a little bit so that they won't pop off. I love all of these colors together. They're so vibrant. They remind me of a traditional costume. I don't think it's called a costume. I think it's just day wear. I don't know, of from India. I have a very sweet friend at church that is from India, and she is going to be going on a mission trip in April, and we are giving a bunch of bracelets to her to take for some children over there in the orphanages. So we are always rainbow looming for a cause. Love, love, love it. We want to spread the word of Rainbowloom. Such an awesome thing. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this, and I will come back when it is finished. Alright, so I went all the way down here with my green apple V's. Now it's time to close off the bracelet. We're just going to finish the green apple perimeter. So I'm going to start from the first to the second. Then from the 5th to the 4th, then from the 2nd to the 3rd, push those two down, and then from the 4th to the 3rd. And then our last thing that we're going to do is get a cat band started. And I'm going to be using 2 of the green apples instead of just 1, since this is a rather thick bracelet. I'm just going to make it a cat band and put it on that center row right there. And then it's time for us to turn our looms around. Ooh, I almost whacked myself in the head. I could have started having a concussion here on tape. That would have been interesting. Rather interesting, I would have to say. Okay, so we are about to start looming. I'm just making sure everything's in the correct spot. Alright, so our first step is we're going to go inside of our cat band. Make sure you go behind all of those points right there. And you're going to grab that first green perimeter. For me, it's the one that's going to go to the left, depending on which one that you did first, and then grab the one to the right. Now you're not going to keep doing the rest of these. Don't do this last one right here. Okay, now we're going to go inside the cat band again, and we're going to loom out this single chain of jelly gold. Now I know there are bands on top of it. There is a reason that we are doing them out of order. So I'm just looming out, going inside of the green apple and grabbing that jelly gold. Make sure you go inside of those green apples. Alright, I'm going to continue doing this and I will be right back. So I did my single chain all the way back to the beginning of the bracelet. Now I'm going to take my loom back to the beginning, and now I'm going to go inside of those single chains and I want to grab the green apple bands. Make sure you go inside of the chain, okay? Grab the one green apple and take it back to the other end. Do the one on top and then the one on bottom. And go to the next one. You're looming out those two green apple bands, making sure to go inside of that gold single chain. It should almost make kind of a obtuse triangle. I know, I'm trying to use my math skills. I may be a teacher, but I haven't said obtuse in a long time. There's a cute, right? I think it's obtuse. Oh well, you can make fun of me later. Alright, you're going to continue doing this throughout the rest of the loom. I'll be right back. So I loomed out all of the green apples until I got to right here. I wanted to show you this last one. The last one won't make a triangle. It's just going to kind of make a teardrop. So I wanted to show you that you're not doing it wrong if the last one makes a little teardrop here. Alright, so let's go back to the beginning. Alrighty. So now we are going to be looming out the purple, the hot pink and ocean, and the purple and blue bands. So we're going to go back inside of that cat band, and there are actually 4 bands on this one pin that we're going to be pulling out, because remember we have that small one and then we have the larger one on this one. So I'm going to go inside the cat band, grab the one on top and take it back to the beginning to make a teardrop. That's the small one. Go inside of the cat band, grab the other one. That's the other side of the small side. Now the last two should be the larger long one, the longer A-frame or upside down V. And you're going to do that inside of each of these middle pins. Going to grab it and pull it back to the other side of the band. Grab it and pull it back. It's really good if you have nice stretchy bands. If you don't force it. Give it a little tug, because you don't want to break your bands. And you're just going inside that middle pin, making sure there's a pretty good hole right now, but making sure you go inside of all of those bands, grabbing that band and pulling it back to the other side of the band. Pulling it back. Alright, and you're just going to do this all the way up the loom. Make sure not to miss any of the pins that have the bands on them, because if you missed one, it could make the entire bracelet fall apart. And then we're like, oh, I just worked so long on a bracelet and I just messed it up. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm going to continue this all the way to the end, and I will see you back here in just a minute. I went all the way down here to the last big one in the purple and blue. Now I have one more small one in the hot pink and ocean. I wanted to show you, just so you know that you had to loom out that last small one. Alright, that's all from the inside. Now we will be going back to our perimeter, pulling those green ones back and pulling the perimeter over one last time. And now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be grabbing all of the golds. And what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of this perimeter band part and grab that gold, that jelly gold out, and pull it back to make a teardrop. You're going to pull it back to itself. That's okay. Do you see how that one came undone? I'm just going to hold it like this, go inside of my perimeter, grab the band with my hook, and then put it back on there, making sure I went through all of those perimeter bands. Now I'm going to go inside of all of those middle bands on both sides, pulling all of those back and grabbing the gold and taking it back to the other end of the band, making sure to pull back all of those bands until I get to the gold. Now I haven't done anything with the pink or the green perimeter yet, just with the jelly gold. So I'm going to continue to do this all the way up the loom, just pulling it back and then grabbing the jelly gold and making a teardrop with it. So I'm going to do this all the way up, and I'll be back to work on the pink and the green. So I did all the way to the end with the gold jelly, making the teardrops. Now I'm going to work on the pink and the fairy pink and the Persian green apple. Now there are two ways that you can do this. Now I'll do the easier way first. The easier way is going inside, pulling the green perimeter and the pink fairy back, grabbing the green apple and pulling it forward. Next, going back inside that perimeter, grabbing the pink fairy and pulling it forward. You're not pulling the pink fairy back to where it originally was. You're pulling it up forward instead of diagonal. Same on this side. Pull the perimeter and the fairy pink back. Grab the green apple. Then pull the perimeter, grab the fairy pink, pull it forward. I'll do that one more time like that. I'm pulling all the bands back, including the fairy pink that has not been loomed. Grabbing the green apple, pulling it forward. Grab the pink, pull it forward. Now you can do this in 2 steps. Pulling all of them back, grabbing the green apple, and then grabbing the pink. Or, if you feel comfortable enough to do it, you can grab both of them at one time. I have the green apple and the fairy pink on my hook right now, and I can pull both of them up at the same time. It would save a step, but some people do not have the new metal hooks, or they don't feel comfortable enough to do that. It is a little more, takes a little bit more strength to do that. I will say you need to make sure when you do both of them that you go in behind whatever bands are there. So right now I've pulled up 3 times with both bands. Now I'll do it with one band at a time. It's fine either way. They're going to the same place, but make sure when you get the green, you go in behind the pink first, if you're getting the green, and then the pink. Okay? So I'm going to continue doing this, and I will be back, and then it'll be almost time for us to take it off of the loom. Alright, so I loomed up both sides with both the green apple and the fairy pink. Now I need to go in and do the perimeters up here. So I'm going to go in from the left to the middle, go in behind all of those bands, go to that middle pin. Now I'm going to go in from the right. Oops. Make sure you get in behind all the bands that you need to. And then grab those 2 bands that you dropped at the very beginning, making sure you get behind every single band except for those 2. Hold them on your hook. I'm going to be using a large C-clip. And I just pull it through all of, oops, I lost one. Pull it through all of the bands. Missed one, there we go. Alright. I may change that out later to maybe a green or a pink one. I don't know what colors that the multicolored bag came with. Let me see. Ooh, there is a lime green. I may change that one out. Okay, so since this bracelet is very tight, you're going to have to be very careful taking it off. So let's see my little. And let's start taking it off row by row. It's better to do it this way and to not have a broken bracelet than to try and rip it off and to have a broken bracelet. And like I said before, you can count this as like a cardio workout, you know, weightlifting, whatever. I'm just going on the first row and the fifth row to take them off. Now I'm going to go on the fourth and the second row. Now to the second. The fourth and the second is where all of the large A-frame and or upside down V's are. So that's where a lot of the tension is. And then you'll be down to just that third pin bar. And it'll be easy to get it off of then. Okay, so now I'm going to get that first. I'm kind of pulling forward. And it just kind of pulls off. Alright, so now we have our bracelet, but we have to do a lot of pulling and stretching now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull and make sure all of these pinks are pulled out to the edges because they could still be underneath those purples. So that's my first thing, is to pull those. And then pull lengthwise. Alrighty. So there we have, this is one side, which I think this looks like a fishtail on a girl's hair. Not the loomed fishtail, but like a girl's hair that's had her hair fishtailed. And then this is the other side. It's reversible, so whichever way you would like to wear it, this will fit an average size wrist. And this is doing the 3-length pin bars, but stopping where there are 6 pins left on the last set of 3. This is done on a full 3 lengths pin bar setup. It's not that much longer. And then this one is done on an average wrist size 2. So this is our coat of arms. This one is actually for my coat of arms, my family's coat of arms, the Applegate coat of arms. I still find it ironic of the owls. Love it to death. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is our latest design. If you enjoyed this tutorial, will you please give us a big thumbs up and like, comment. If you find your family's coat of arms and you decide to make this bracelet, how cool of it would be if you took a picture of your family's coat of arms, and if you tag us on Instagram, show us your family's coat of arms when you do your bracelet. That would be so interesting. I just find it all so interesting. So please like, comment, subscribe so you know when we have more tutorials coming out. We have lots of coming out. And if you choose to make it, like I said, please tag us and hashtag us on Instagram, amandaandmonicarloomy. And have a great day. Bye.